What up, y'all? Absolutely Alphas in the building. This is Tone.
This is Trina, and we are Absolutely Alphas. Thank you so much again for joining us today. Today's episode, we're actually going to talk about, it's a suggestion I got from Kanea. She's a Facebook friend of mine from Baltimore, and she also shares in the Alpha personality. And she felt like we should do a segment on that. So, this is Alphas Explained. That's the name of this episode. And like we said in the beginning, we are both of the alpha variety with our personalities. So what does alpha mean to Webster? To Webster, alpha is, as it relates to human beings. Let's see, what does it say? Wait a minute. Oh, here it is.
Huh, there it is.
A person who has a dominant role or position within a particular sphere. So, yeah, that's us. The sphere being Earth.
We officially rule the Earth.
We officially rule the Earth.
You know, whether you actually ever know about it or not, we run this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad we're speaking about this because I thought a lot of people would listen to this shit and realize, or even think like, hey, you know, I'm an alpha. Everyone's an alpha now. Everyone that listens to this shit might think they're an alpha. And you know what? I hope you do. Because I'm not trying to,
discourage anybody from...
I'm not trying to downplay anyone, because I hope you do believe that.
But are you, though?
There will always be a question about whether or not you truly are. So we're going to take this time to speak about, what really, maybe even some signs that you could be one, which you might have gone through growing up, the adversities, because being an alpha, you're certainly going to be different from people.
Right.
You're not going to be, a regular motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little. You're definitely going to stand out. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's not an easy thing to be, because often you're challenged with people who you. Well, me personally, as I've gotten older, I don't want to judge. Judgment is not something that I do or I participate in, because, I do not think it's right, and I do not want people to judge me. But at the same time, I'll be in a situation and I'm like, these people are ridiculous. Like, why don't they think like this, or why do they think like that? And, I feel like my mind, and I feel like your mind too, it clicks so fast. And we're always just ready to get the whatever it is that we're doing accomplished effectively, efficiently, and quickly, to the best possible accord. And we'll do whatever research it takes to find out what that is, so we know what we're doing. And there's no question. There's never any question. That's one thing about an alpha I take pride in. In my personality is, I want things to be done right. I want things to be done thoroughly, and all options exercised. And I think that's important in anything that you do, whether it's life, whether it's business, whether it's relationship. If you're dealing with a person, you're saying, okay, I'm dealing with you, we have a problem, let's attack this problem from all sides and make sure we're making the best possible decision in finding a solution that we both agree on. And usually, sometimes it's hard when you attack matters of the heart like that, I find, because sometimes it seems very insensitive. And I've been told that with family and with, lovers, that I've been sensitive. And I just think, I just think I'm a lot more logical than sensitive, and to me it's like, well, it is what it is, it is what it is. It's not that I don't care about you, but, let's make this happen and make it work and get it done. I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not a coddler. I'm not going to coddle you and stroke your ego and make sure you feel okay, because that's a waste of energy in my brain and time. So, what does being an alpha mean to you, brother? And I'm going to go over a few points that she brought up that I thought were good as well, but I'll do that in a few minutes.
Okay, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That pretty much sums it up. And being an alpha definitely means you're going to be different. Mm-hmm. And the approach that you just mentioned as far as doing the education to get things done more efficiently is you know, is definitely the way I pursue things. That I'm actually really trying to get done. Like I'm serious about. You know, you know, some things, you know, you might not give a fuck about to really put, you know, I guess that research into, and that's part of it. That's part of like your process as an alpha. But you know, but we're not, if it's some shit I'm really trying to get done, you know, whether it be like, you know, for my careers or an aspect of my careers, or you know, like you said, relationships, or even on just my day job, that there are going to be opinions and approaches I have and going into these situations that can be perceived as insensitive.
Yeah. Always.
And well,
not
yeah.
always, but a lot.
But
it depends on the situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, it's like when you just get to the point, you know. I mean, because it's like, you know, especially in the workplace. Think about your day job. I mean, how many people, how many motherfuckers really are gonna take the time to actually, like, you know, to say something to their boss about, you know, the process or the way things are being done being like not as efficient as it should be.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you know, how it can be made better. I mean, yeah, they want you to give them, you know, suggestions. They'll say they're open to suggestions on how they can improve it, but you know they're not going to really implement it. You know that you know that I guess the powers that be up in the corporate ladder are always going to be doing their studies or whatever to, you know, what they're trying to figure out. Oh, go ahead, sure.
And that's a challenge that I faced when I moved here. One of the first jobs that I got, it was a nice job. It was for a very reputable company. It's an international company that I work for. And, you know, I was very ambitious. And ambition, you got to be careful with it sometimes. You know, ambition and alphas can, on some levels, be synonymous. But depending on your environment, you can be a threat. You know, I came in and I circumnavigated their bullshit process and said, look, hey, this is stupid. Let's do it this way. You know, I mean, what, in more or less words. But yeah, that was not good for me. Like that did not help me out. You know, and there's been positions that I've been in where I'm thinking I'm gonna be saluted or I'm gonna be, you know, appreciated for my ambition and my thrive to improve, you know, and expedite things a little bit faster. And I was not. Because you have people that, you know, in this particular company, Spanish lady was my supervisor and she had been there for I don't know how long. And she was not that bright. And she inherited this role by default. You know, she didn't have any degree. She was not the brightest crayon in the box. Like, if anybody was to meet her, they would see that, you know. But, you know, she was cunning, and I guess she pulled the right strings to get into this position, which is fine. But I say that to make my point that she got me out of there quick. Because I was a threat. I was obviously a threat. You know, because that's the only deduction that I can make. I made a very good suggestion that I rallied the troops on that I thought had my back on it, but apparently they put their head down when I voiced it in the meeting. But, you know, I made the suggestion and I was gone like that next day. They, you know, called the agency because I was a contractor. And yeah, we don't think this is working out. We don't think she likes the job, or we don't think she wants it. I'm like, how do I not like the job? I'm trying to make it better, you know? But yeah, that happened. So that was a valuable lesson for me because it let me know that, you know, I should perhaps maybe just scope the situation out a little bit more before I jump into revamping the process. Just to see who's in charge and how they really feel about me and how they got the position, because it was a problem. Like I said. So I'm going to go to one of the bullet points that this lovely lady provided to me. And one of them is, she states, we males and females have to play quote unquote dumb in order to get the end result that is needed in any situation, whether it's work related or personal. For example, if I need something to be done for my associates at work, my husband, my parents, I have to consistently use reverse psychology in order for them to perform duties needed for success. It's exhausting. I feel like a parent to children that I didn't even birth. And, to the point that I just made, yeah. After I learned what I learned, and I go into other scenarios and situations and work environments, I do feel like I gotta play dumb. No matter how ridiculous I think the process is, sometimes I have to dumb myself down because people can't take me. People can't take my opinion, or they take it the wrong way, or they feel like I'm being condescending, or they feel like, I think I'm better, or I think that, I know more than they do, or and that is a constant struggle of mine. And I agree with her 100%. Do you feel like that? I feel like a lot of times I do have to, be a lot more thoughtful and not as silver-tongued with a lot of people. Of course not you, and of course not, my boyfriend and stuff. The people that know me that I have a really, really close relationship with. But other than that, I do feel like I have to, carefully and meticulously choose my words and how I approach it. Which I think I'm crafty at, but I mean, I don't always want to. I would like to just say what I want to say and not be chastised for it. Or people are like, well, that was not nice. I'm like, well, I'm not nice. Like,
is that old school DMS? I'm not a nice person.
I'm not a nice person.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Is that what just happens now?
I'm a great person. I'm a good person. I'm a loving. I'm a caring person. But when it comes to me getting my point across, that's my goal, and I'm gonna do that the way I think is best.
I think one of the challenges we're speaking about, as far as being an alpha, is even that just that statement alone, like you're not a nice person. Well, why the fuck can't you be a nice person? I think I'm a nice person, but I am probably the opposite of your friend, in just in the regard of being tactful and using reverse psychology on motherfuckers, because
it's exhausting now.
It's not exhausting because I'm a lot more blunt, and I guess I haven't developed that tact in most situations yet. So, being an alpha means, and I'm just gonna say what it is right then and there, and that's one of the challenges that you have as being an alpha, because we're speaking about being people who are just always against the flow of things. Because
usually the flow's stupid.
I mean, well, that's see, now that's but that's like the that's the blunt version right there.
Nice.
That's like the straight up version of it. I guess since I'm a little nicer, I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna knock the majority of people's intelligence, but most people are going with the flow. And if you're an alpha, you're not going to be with it. So I think it's great that when you describe that situation at one of your jobs with that particular boss to me, on another occasion about that same job that you just talked about. Mm-hmm. When you described that to me before, I thought it was amazing how you were able to absorb so much of what was happening in your workplace and your job relationship with her, like how you were able to just see everything as for what it was, to, like you said, find a better process and realize my boss really is here because of politics and not because she's really I guess necessarily qualified for this position. Right. It really is some who not some what shit. It's right. That's really what I'm in right now, and And that's just something you can't get away from any workplace. I mean, that's why, right. You always gotta have careers to pursue and other shit that you're trying to do. That's because, right. The workplace is always gonna be political. And another way you gotta stand out is to just not work a job for the rest of your fucking life, and right. And do you. Right. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say you gotta do that, but you will be more inclined to desire that as an alpha. Right. I think.
Yeah.
So
and I don't, I mean, it's enraging sometimes because I gotta put on this facade in a work environment, for the most part, just to be somewhat a source of admiration. You know, I like to be liked, and who doesn't like to be liked? I don't need to be liked. But when I'm at work and I'm in my work environment, it's either, okay, be liked or be hated. You know? Because
Right.
I'll be at work and I'm like, a lot of mornings, like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to be bothered. And people, you know, I'm a magnet for conversation, you know, because on my days when I'm on, and people love me. But then those days that I don't want to talk, I know, and it's happened before. I haven't done it in a while, but it has happened before. Look, I really don't want to talk to you right now. And I'll say that to a person, and then it's like, okay, God forbid what the rumor is that goes around the office. But, I mean, at the point in time, I didn't really care. And usually I don't. But, I mean, you grow up after a while. You're like, okay, you got to be a little bit more diplomatic with people. You have to actually, try to fit into the work world if that's what you need to do to make money for a while. But to my brother's point, every day, I'm so close to being able to quit. I'm so close. But every day, being that I know I'm so close, every day it makes it more of a struggle to just...
Didn't that sound like she was like progressing towards something, like every day I'm getting like closer to success? Like it's something she was progressing on. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I know. and that's how it is. The older I get, the more I don't want to deal with office politics. And there's always like probably 60% of the people that I work with that I just do not I would not really want to be around, outside of the work environment, because a lot of people take their jobs too seriously and they want to be in control or have a illusion of being in control, and it's just annoying. I'm like, you know what? You're not even half as smart as you need to be to not be here. And for that, I feel bad for you.
And for that, I pity you.
And for that, you have my pity.
Basically.
So the second point this young lady made was that alphas analyze every possible outcome to situations before even entering a situation. She said it's like we hold the keys. We know what's going to happen and what needs to happen for things to be done for things to be done the correct way, which is better for all parties involved. Oh, look at this. Kind of like a young god is what she said. If that makes sense. So yeah, she's definitely an alpha. I don't know if I'd call myself a god.
Well, in the text messages, she actually capitalized the word God too, as well.
Autocorrect to do that. God's supposed to be capitalized.
Okay. All right.
But I agree with her. I do feel like I hold all the keys. But I have learned to be receptive to the other people's suggestions. Just last night, I had a meeting, and there was an extra person in the meeting. I guess she's involved. I don't know, but like in the back of my mind, I feel like she's not officially supposed to be there. She's like a girlfriend of one of the guys, and I'll be in the middle of one of my thoughts, and sometimes every time she'll have an idea that she wants to aggressively express. And it's been hard for me to just say no, just why are you here, But I was really nice last night. You'd have been proud of me because I was like, okay, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I actually just did the complete opposite of what I wanted to do. Because they were in my home, I was hosting, so I was being very gracious. But that's just to prove the point about feeling like we hold the keys that she was saying. And I do feel like, I kind of was leading the meeting, and I feel like she's very alpha too, but, it's one thing to be alpha, but you know your place too, because I know my place in a situation. If I was her, I probably wouldn't have been as outspoken, but, I don't know. I'll deal with that another day, but I was very nice last night, and I thought brother was going to stay longer to kind of have her, to distract her, talk to her, so she
yeah.
wouldn't be in the meeting as much, and she could just talk to him like she did last meeting. That was perfect because got a lot done. But
wow.
yeah, I mean, but she's a great person. I think we might actually have her on the show. I don't know. Maybe she'll hear this and be like, "Fuck y'all," but well, maybe not. I don't know. But in addendum to all that, I just do feel like it's a struggle to be in a position where you feel like you hold the power, but you're not. Everybody else doesn't feel like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, it all connects. You know, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So
Do you have any stories?
I have a lot of stories. I mean, but it connects together because, you know, we can be these brilliant, you know, leadership alpha mindsets, and it's not going to be apparent. You know, it's probably going to take, or usually going to take, like, I guess, another type of, you know, unique, different, outstanding alpha personality or, you know, mentality to really you know, receive and perceive, you know, who we are and what we're capable of. Because, you know, it's like it kind of goes back to, like, it goes back to an Albert Einstein quote, like, you know, something like great minds have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds or something.
Right.
And it goes back to what else? Like the other podcast, the Quiet versus Clown. Like,
right.
You know how I think, you know, it's always like clown, especially, you know, I think with men. You know, I think it's like, you know, your clown type of cat that really is going to, you know, get most of the recognition that, you know, probably, like, you know, you're more mastermind, what I refer to as a mastermind type of cat should be getting. So you know, we are, that's the struggle that you face as an alpha, that you could face if you are an alpha. Right. You know, because you're in minority, you very well could be an alpha and not even realize it. And to something I joked about earlier at the very start of the episode today, you know, I was joking about it, but, you know, we hope that we do inspire alphas out there who you know, who might sometimes feel like they have to be inhibited, or, you know, not really put themselves, put their you know, voice their mind like they're supposed to, like they should. And probably most situations that, you know, you probably need to say some shit that people need to hear.
Right.
Okay.
Right, but yeah.
Yeah, nigga, that's it. I mean, go ahead.
But yeah, I agree with that. But like I was saying earlier, I think, you know, as an alpha, you do have to learn or be able to acquire a skill that allows you to be understanding, a little bit more sensitive, and diplomatic with people. Because, you know, the saying goes, you get a lot more bees with honey than you do with salt, or whatever it says.
What?
So,
okay. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, being sweet, you know, it will help you gain what you may need from an individual. Because if you're dealing with somebody like, okay, I need to utilize this person for this purpose, you being a dickhead is not going to get you that. Well, it's not going to help you reach your goal.
Well, to one of my points earlier, being a perceived dickhead.
Right.
You know, because you're not really a dickhead. If you're an alpha or a logical person, you know, you're not. Don't let people like, you know, lead you to believe you're mean or you're an asshole just because you don't have the tact or the speech they want you to have, you know.
But well, I guess what I'm saying is, if you're in a situation where you have the option to be direct and blunt and forthcoming, but you've assessed the situation enough to know that if I do that with this person, it's going to intimidate them and I'm not going to get what I want, then that's when you should go at it a different way. And when I say a different way, it is to be tactful. It's not to take away from your alpha personality, because you're alpha enough to know that you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's part two. Assessing it to the level that you're saying, okay, I need to approach this a different way. Because if I keep it 100, keeping it real goes wrong. Hashtag Dave Chappelle, shout out to him.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
It can go sideways. You don't always want to be your raw self with everybody because everybody can't take that. Everybody does not know how to process that, and some people process that in a way that's not going to behoove you or help you advance in the areas that you may need to advance. So you do need to learn that tact, and you do need to be able to see when who has a weak personality that they could be vengeful or not be receptive to you, or who you can see has a strong personality or maybe a little more leaning towards the alpha personality. That okay, they're gonna get me. They're gonna understand, and if you're not sure, then you do the latter. You do the first one. You be a little bit more tactful. You be a little bit more docile and nice until you really do pierce their personality or pinpoint their personality and see what you do think they can take and what they can't take. That's something that I've learned, again, and I've only acquired that skill because I've had to work for other people, and I didn't want to lose my job. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's the main reason. Other than that, if I was born into money, I wouldn't need to even think about any of this. I could just be me all the time, but you can't always, get what you want by being yourself 100%. And that sounds whack. Because, your whole life you're raised to be yourself. But no, you can't. I can't be myself at work because everybody would hate me. Right. When people come to me at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, it's way too early to talk to you. Back up. Like,
oh, shit.
They would not like me.
And
at all. Not even a little bit. Oh, she's a bitch. But then I'll have the days where I'm really nice and I'm like, oh, she's crazy. Like, no, I just didn't want to be fucked with at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's it. And in my mind, I would think, before I went through all these lessons and stuff, I'm like, this should be understood. That should be understandable. But people don't understand. People don't want you to be in a bad mood. They just want you to be in a good mood all the time. Because they're in a good mood. They're pretending to be in a good mood all the time. Right. So when you're in a bad mood some of the time, you're the devil, and you don't know how to deal with social situations, and So it's exhausting, but that's the way it is. You gotta learn to fit in. You gotta fit in.
Yeah.
On some levels, and so you don't have to fit in, I guess.
Yeah.
But where are we at right now?
You're looking at that. Yeah, it's that's gonna you learn it mostly in the workplace. Because that's where you spend most of your time.
Right.
Well, while you're in the come up, trying to do your own thing or whatever.
Right.
And I may have already just thought about just now. I'm alpha enough to admit that earlier in this episode, I may have admitted that there's another level of alpha that maybe I haven't reached. Because. I think that next level is when you can just immediately, because I can be tactful. I can speak and interact with people with tact. I can do that.
Yeah, you can. You're good.
I can do that. But I think the next level is being able to immediately assess like situations on the spot and being able to do that like all the time right away.
Right.
Which brings me to like another friend of mine. Well, another one of our friends, whom I haven't, I'll bring up my boy L.
We need to have him on this show.
Yeah, we had a funny conversation because we both know an L. And, the entire time you thought I was talking about your L. That was a funny conversation. That shit was hilarious. But, yeah, but he's like, that's who he is.
He's super alpha.
I think he's extremely,
He's extreme.
He can, but as far as the tact and his ability to like, to present to you what's going on, and the differences between different personality types and how he can scope out a situation and size things up, is genius. I admired it a lot about him.
I think I sized him up good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did. Oh yeah, you did excellent. Cause would you call him a super narcissist or something?
Yeah, something like that.
You said something to that degree about him, which I would be inclined to agree. That's what the fuck he is. But he is very good at, just immediately being able to assess how much tact is needed for a situation in any given moment, and adjust to it immediately. So that's like, that's something you first have to learn. Okay, because once you're going against the flow, you eventually going to learn. Okay, well, I know what needs to be done in all these situations. How do I present it to the masses?
Right.
That's effectively presented to the masses. That's eventually what you are going to learn, because I mean you the first step to being an alpha is that just knowing what should be done all the time. Which I'm great at, but how can I present it to the people?
Right. In a way that they'll understand and not side-eye me the entire conversation.
Right, and not get their feelings hurt.
And not hurt their feelings. Like, and that's always on your mind. Like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Like, I don't try to. I don't think you try to. But, I mean, it happens. And I'm like, so
you bitches.
You bitches. Why? Everything I say is of such a magnitude that you had to cry about it, I mean, Jesus, Lord, Mary, and Joseph. It's not that serious. Even when I talk to my Lord and Savior, it's not that serious. He doesn't take offense. He's like, you know what, my child, I feel you. But he's alpha with me. He is the alpha. He's like, well, look, you're fucking up. You need to do this. And I'm like, well, all right. You're right. I'll do this. Next day, I'm like, look, I did it. What's the deal? I thought I was going to get those blessings. What those blessings do, Alpha? So, I mean, he gets me. So, I don't know why other people don't. That's Jesus I'm talking about here. He understands. But, I don't know. We'll just see. But it's a great topic. It's a good, not just a great topic, but it's not a bad thing to be. And you said if you're trying to be an alpha, like, you're either one or you're not. I don't think you can. I don't think somebody can wake up and say, you know what?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said if you want to be or something, or if you want to be an alpha. I think you said something.
Hey, that's terrible.
You mad now?
I feel like I didn't say something like that. I mean, I was just, but at the start, I was just like, I did think, a lot of people just see the title or pick up on the theme of the show and just try to throw themselves to that category right away. When they may not belong in the category, like
Yeah, you're not.
You might just be like just a real weirdo.
Like a poser. That's called a poser.
Or you might just be a complete outcast.
Or you might be a poser. I can't think of anything else.
There you go. That was actually probably more appropriate. Just as an alpha, we're definitely all outcasts. I'm just fucking with y'all.
I like being an outcast, though. I didn't like it as much when I was younger. Because I was always the nerdy friend, like I said. We didn't grow up together. So I was in the house alone for the most of the time. I did love being around my friends, but they all had siblings that they in their household, and I thought I was a little too clingy, but I knew I was like, I knew I was smarter, I guess, than them in a lot of ways. I don't want to say that like out loud and they all hear it, but I mean, when we were in school, I was always in the smarter classes and stuff. Now I was in GT and AP and stuff like that, but I always seemed to like them better than the kids in my class because they were douchebags. But I guess I was going through, figuring myself out and everything. But yeah, it's a good topic. And thanks again, and shout out to Kanea. She really did help out with forming this whole thing, and I thought it was a great idea, and we should have did it sooner. So thank you again, my lady. We appreciate you. Again, AbsolutelyAlphas.com, Instagram, AbsolutelyAlphas, Facebook, Absolutely Alphas. Questions, comments, concerns, rants, hate, love, absolutelyalphas@gmail.com. Thanks again. Just wanted to throw that in there. Do you have anything else about the alphas?
I probably exhausted, Yeah, I made all my main points with that.
Yeah, me too.
So,
we'll do a passion point.
Let's talk about how I can get you in some better shape.
Better shape.
So,
or can we go ahead and officially call it the fitness? What did I say? Fitness fact. Fitness fact.
Fitness fact. Yeah, we'll think of something. We'll call it that for
we
now. We're still winging some names. we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
The FF. So I
like alliteration.
I like I'm going to speak about sugar and fat. And these are things that I take these things for granted. I think that I have such an eating habit. I've had it for so long that I guess I just kind of take for granted that that people just know this shit already, and people are very appalled at my eating habit because they see me consistently eat apples and like salads every day, and it's like appalling, I guess, to see, especially a man eat like this. I'm also a fighter, so that but that's something that I feel like I shouldn't have to explain to people just because I eat a certain type of way. I'm at a point now where I don't even perceive myself as someone who eats healthy. I just have a eating habit that I've been very consistent with for many years. So, in other words, now that I'm when I guess since I'm still getting these reactions from people, this stuff isn't as common now as I would like to think it is. So I would just like to in advance ask for your forgiveness if this is pretty common knowledge and you feel like you're already ahead of this. But I want to speak about sugar versus fat because once again there was a point in time where the media and the authorities at B publicize articles and reads against saturated fat, and this had everyone on this low fat fad, and it really fucked people up.
Yeah.
I hope I did mention before that because we were kind of I guess swerving around saturated fat when they found someone that had like congestive heart failure or like a heart attack or some kind of heart disease. There was a study being done where like 70 or 71% or something of the fat that was found in these hearts was polyunsaturated fat. Not saturated, but polyunsaturated. Polyunsaturated. I can even get into if I haven't already, like the best kinds of polyunsaturated fats, but for the most part, having a large amount of just most of the kinds of polyunsaturated fats are worse for you than the saturated fats are.
Okay.
I can do a more thorough breakdown of that, later.
Can you put something in the notes?
Oh yeah, yes. Sure. I'll throw some extra links in there. I don't mind at all. So, so sugar is really going to be the most fattening thing that you're consuming. It's
even in fruit sugar.
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, it depends on how much you're taking in.
Right.
So, an apple is actually what is considered to be a negative calorie food. So like the fiber and like the skin, the way it digests it in your body, it takes more calories to digest it than the apple actually has itself. So apples are actually that's one of the reasons why they're so great, and why it's probably the most common, one of the first fruits you learned about in school or something, because it's
apple a day.
An apple a day. There you go. But sugar is where it's at as far as like what you should be cutting. Because
you need to cut it.
Because it's obviously you see it causing diabetes. One of the precursors to diabetes is being out of shape and overweight.
Right.
And that's really what one of your problems is, and just in general, like sugar is one of your carbs, and normally like it's like people who are just doing a lot of carbs and not enough of the other two macros. So yes, the majority of your diet should be carbs, it should always be like the like if you have a pie with all three macros, like carbs is supposed to be the biggest one for most people, which so there's probably nothing wrong with the amount of carbs people are eating, but when people are just kind of doing like food restriction, and then they're eating mostly carbs, then they're not getting that balance.
Yeah, okay.
But sugar is just because it's absorbed, like, okay, and I gotta probably eventually do a difference between sugar and carbs, but sugar is like a type of carb, but every carb isn't a sugar. But sugar in excess it's easy to become to eat excess sugar because you're only going to absorb so much of it in a given moment because it is absorbed so quickly. So since it's absorbed so quickly, the threshold in your body for sugar is going to be reached pretty quickly, and your excess sugar will be stored as fat, and that's why it's so easy for if you're taking in 30 or 40 grams of sugar in one setting, that a good portion of that is going to be stored as fat.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about messing up your insulin receptors or your insulin sensitivity, and that's how diabetes develops as well.
Wow.
So just keep that in mind. I mean, just start your eating habit by cutting your sugar, mostly the sodas.
Yeah, don't eat. Don't drink soda.
Well, just think about like a can of soda. A can of soda has like between 40-50 grams of sugar.
That's
usually.
A lot.
So I mean, and it's so little, right? So think about, imagine if you do like 4 sodas a day.
Oh.
And then like most people hardly eat. Most people don't eat like whole meals through the day.
Oh.
So.
That's everything, right?
Like,
there.
yeah, even if say like the calories in those cans are like a third of your energy intake for the day, and like total calories, that's disastrous. Like that means you
want diabetes.
That means you drink almost really as much energy as you ate. So it's a problem when we're drinking like a big portion of our energy intake as opposed to actually eating it. So that's one of the downsides of drinking so much sugar. Besides the fact that it's high fructose corn syrup, we haven't even gotten to that yet.
Ooh, well, say that.
Yeah. So sister's yawning because I'm ranting about sugar.
He's passionate about this stuff, you guys.
So she's gonna talk about her dashikis now.
That's my passion. I went to this women's conference the other day, and there was a vendor there who sold customized dashiki skirts. I'll probably put her website in the notes too. But I wanted one so bad. She fits you for it. You know what? I'm gonna get one. I think I'm gonna get one this week. I'm gonna contact her. But they were so gorgeous. I already have 2 dashikis, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get some more. I love the way it looks. It's beautiful. It makes the whites nervous when you wear them. But I mean, aside from that, I'm just really passionate about embracing my culture more, and just learning more about my Ethiopian roots. I think that's important for me. I probably shouldn't have waited so long to do it, but that's passionate about right now. So I am going to find all the traditional garb I can and just make everybody really nervous everywhere I go, and that's what I'm hoping to do. And if they're not nervous, then they'll be like, "Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, it's so great." Usually people don't hate on people with dashikis. They either love it or they're scared.
They're probably scared. If you hating, you're probably scared.
Like, oh, the revolution, bitch, is coming. These niggas they know. They know now. So, that's it. I mean, that was short.
Make sure you walk around with extra swag, like with your arms swinging more when you're wearing a dashiki too. Just make sure you have a certain walk.
I'm gonna get the big medallions, the gold, get gold, everything, all gold, everything.
Walk noticeably different in your workplace and your regular social life.
Real slow, when you're chest out.
Right.
Coming to America.
That's right. Just walk in slow motion. There it is. So we're both tired and shocked, but especially me. When anyone eats fast food.
Fast food's my shocker too.
Why do people still eat it?
Why?
I I'm telling a little bit, I guess, about my time, but I come from a time where where the prices were different. Kind of like your grandparents talked about when bread used to be 1 cent or some shit. when your grandparents talk about that, I feel the same way. These McDonald's fish sandwiches used to be 50 cents a piece.
Right.
And now I remember I feel like the Burger King big fish that they had back in the day.
Burger King got fish?
Yeah, but they barely, because I mean I feel like that thing was $1.99. It was a big ass huge fish sandwich, so you could barely it barely fit on the bun. It was huge, and
wow.
that was the shit back then. Now, like, Burger King has, like, I think it's like an Alaskan fish. They trying to make it fancy, like Alaskan, like make it sound exotic and shit. The Alaskan fish sandwich. That shit is like $5 now, just for the fucking sandwich.
You made it.
So first of all, it's overpriced, like, you know, way compared to what I'm used to, and for what the fuck it's worth. It's not like it actually satisfies you or anything.
Should it be 50 cents?
Yo, that shit should be free. Like,
it can't be free.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They got to figure something out. I heard McDonald's has been shutting all the stores down. Like, you know, shit ain't going so well for them.
Right.
So yo, I mean, I also coming in the notes will be how fucking yoga mat and paint thinner and fish tank sealant is actually in your fucking fast food. How about that? Is that going to make you stop eating it?
Nope. Because I need food and I need it fast. Nobody meals prep.
Then you're an idiot.
Meal preps.
You're a fucking idiot because there's that awful shit. Hey, you know, they do something about it. You know. Anyway, so no, like I thought there were enough documentaries on Netflix and YouTube about, you know, what's going on with the fast food and what's in it, and you know. But you know, I don't know. I mean, how can people still eat this shit? I mean, what do you have to say about this?
I think that I am guilty because sometimes I am hungry and I am in a rush and I do go to Wendy's. I like Wendy's though. I feel like their meat is. I feel like they haven't been exposed too much for bad stuff. I do like their burgers. I do feel like they use fresh ingredients as stated on their logo. But McDonald's, no. I can't eat McDonald's. I cannot eat Burger King. Every now and then, I'll go ahead and get some chicken. But other than that, when I do eat fast food, I feel terrible about myself. And I usually probably do it. It's like a bi-monthly thing. It's not something I do often at all. And even then, I feel terrible and disgusting. And usually, if the drive-thru's long and I go inside, all the people look weird. I'm like, why am I here? You know, I just feel really bad about myself. So, I try my best to go ahead and, you know, every Sunday or Saturday, just go get some, you know, avocados, mangoes, celery. What else do I keep? I'm trying to keep a lot of produce in my house weekly, so I'll have something to refer to. So if I am out on my way home or on my way somewhere, I can always have that with me. You know, my yogurt. You know, these are my staples that I go to that, you know, will sustain me until I am ready to cook something or until I get to where I'm going, if I go out to dinner or whatever. And even when I go out to restaurants, you know, I'm really picky about where I eat at too, because like I don't even like Fridays, Ruby Tuesdays. I don't like the way it smells in those restaurants. Even Olive Garden and Red Lobster, to me when I walk in, it smells like dishes being washed. it doesn't smell like good food. Like it doesn't, like Carrabba's, when I go on Carrabba's, they're tip top. You know, there are a few other places I go in that are pretty tip top too, as far as the smell. But if you go into a restaurant and you're about to order food that you're going to wait for and pay for and pay a tip for, you know, there should be some type of odor included in the ambiance that's not disgusting. It's like dishwashing liquid or dishwasher water, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, and you know, so again, with the fast food, I do think at this day and age, 2016, people know enough. They should know enough to educate themselves a lot more about what you're putting in your body. I mean, you're putting it into your body, and you know, we've come a long way from, you know, Big Mama's House and soul food and all this. I mean, and I do like my soul food every now and then. And I will go, you know, but I don't see the old people in there eating. I'm like, you probably shouldn't be in here eating this shit. I'm thinking like, I know you have hypertension. You know, and another thing, like this girl that I work with, she has high blood pressure, and she tries to convince me like I don't fucking know about what the disease entails. You know, she's like always retaining fluid, and you know her body's swelling up. I'm like, bitch, you eat. She spends probably $5 to $6 a day, no lie, on snacks, Doritos, cookies, honey buns. donuts. And I'm like, you can't eat this. She's like, well, this got sugar in it. This ain't. I'm like, there's still sodium in things that have sugar. You dummy. Like, you're not gonna sit here. Yeah, and she like really trying to really puzzled as to why her body is swelling. I'm like, you're eating a lot of sodium. You don't drink any water ever. Like, you're either drinking sweet tea, lemonade, soda, or you're eating a snack. I never see her eat anything healthy at all. And when I offer her something, because I'll have a mango, I'll have, you know what I mean, some fruit, I'll have some celery, and she looks at me like I'm crazy, like, oh no, like, and I get tired of that. I get tired of being the one around my friends or around the people I know, aside from you, that's eating healthy, and I get judged for it. That's a shocker for me. Like, ugh, you eat crazy, you eat different. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna die when you die. I'm gonna die later because I'm eating better than you.
The genuine shock for me, I mean, just all the time is like, I think they're the weird ones. Like when I see someone eating fast food, especially since I used to work in the gym, and I guess I really have been like, you know, deeply, I guess, like, you know, involved in like the fitness culture and like, you know, on social media and everything, and just I've really been exposed to a lot of it, you know, and getting back to the swing of it now, but yeah, like, I mean, that's how I look at people when they eat fast food. Like, I think that's weird to me. Like, I think it's such common knowledge. But again, that's why I got to do this segment.
Right.
Because apparently, clearly it's not.
It's not.
And, you know, and even for, like, you know, even what I thought were, like, the healthier fast food choices, like Chick-fil-A and Subway even. Mm-hmm. You know, Subway bread is actually where your yoga mat foam is.
And she eats Subway once a week because she says she has coupons.
The shorty you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, probably not shorty, but like an old lady or something.
She like 40.
Well, if she has hypertension, she's really like 65 or 70.
No. I know people my age that have it.
Then they're already 50. What are you talking about?
Right. You would think.
They're already...
But they're not. But see, and again, like, to reference back to the alphas, I would be a douchebag if I really reined into her when, you know, when she says something about me, like, oh, how do you eat that? Like, I had a grapefruit. She's like, oh, you like grapefruits? I'm like, what? I said, yeah, I spent my money on it. She was like, yeah, well, I guess you did. Like, you be eating so different. And I'm like, well, and so if I was at that point, interject my true feelings about her diet, how she'll probably die a decade before she's supposed to because she doesn't eat right, you know, then I'd be wrong, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'd be the villain, right?
I mean, you know.
I'm just trying to save the bitch's life, though, you know?
I guess we're still in the minority here, so you know that's part of being an alpha, y'all. You know, it's you're an outcast, and you know, just that's just what life is going to be about as an alpha. So
she literally had 3 bags of Doritos the other day.
three, not 3 whole bags.
3, like the little 50-cent bag.
Okay, which isn't.
If you're gonna eat some Doritos, you eat 1 bag. You don't eat 3.
For the day, 1 bag is you have actually maximized like the allowance of junk food you should have if you're like on a fat loss journey.
Right.
By 1 bag, you know, that's it. You know,
right.
if you're gonna do a soda, you know, per day, like that's all you're allowed.
And this is the first thing that you're putting into your body. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is the first thing that she's putting into her body. First thing in the morning, like that's, it just makes me so upset.
Yeah,
I'll be sitting there, just hear some rattling. I'll look over, she's laughing. Because I know I feel like she does it to stay awake, but, I mean, she has like another job where she works in this pharmacy, part-time, where she was. But the pharmacy's in a supermarket where she can go and buy some fucking produce. She can go every single night when she gets off and go buy some shit that she ain't gotta get out of a vending machine. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
It frustrates me.
Yeah,
Lord, oh my Lord.
Real nigga shit. So
Is there anything else?
I was just gonna try to like quickly cram in here, I guess, some tips. Because I have a philosophy myself that, you know, I personally judge people who have like a lot of judgment or I guess perceptions that they project on other people,
right?
And don't have any kind of advice or help to help the situation. You know, yeah, I look at people a certain type of way if they have more judgment to offer than help.
Yes.
Even if they don't verbally voice their judgment out there, like sometimes you can the kind of judgment of people you can feel when someone's judging or whatever. So
right.
even if they don't say it. So anyway, let me cram some tidbits in here. So realistically, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what most people's routines are. You know, if you're, I guess, a regular person or not an alpha. You know, if you're one of the masses, I don't know what most people are doing. You know, for getting up for work in the morning or before their day starts. But I mean, you're looking at maybe spending another 30 minutes. If you can get up 30 minutes earlier, that should be enough time to prepare your food for the day.
Right.
For the whole day.
Even if you do it at night, you can do it before you go to bed.
You also would be more constructive spending your time doing that at night, as opposed to watching fucking reality shows and on social media as well. So you have a lot of opportunity to, if it takes you even an hour, another hour of your time to prepare for like a day of eating, then that hour that night or another 30 minutes or 30 minutes at night, 30 minutes the night before, 30 minutes in the morning, however you want to do it. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to prepare your food for the day and not have to eat, not be at the mercy of fast food all day.
Right.
And fucking and vending machine food too. That's the other killer right there, the vending machines. So what do you bring to work? You bring stuff that with fiber that's gonna hold your stomach. You bring strawberries, you bring carrots, broccoli,
I like cucumbers. I slice cucumbers up.
Yeah. There you go.
Like I said, celery. Stuff with a lot of water in there so you can, keep your shit. I drink a lot of lemon water.
There you go.
I keep lemons. Sometimes I go ahead and throw the lime in there. That's a detox. It's an appetite curber. It curbs your appetite.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps clean you out. And it's a diuretic. Naturally, it's going to help you, flush all the toxins out of your body.
Exactly.
I mean, just do a fucking Google search. Read, people. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's out there. Everything that we're talking about is easily accessible from your smartphone. So, don't go on Facebook. Don't go on Instagram.
All right.
Just Google, how can I live longer? What diet will help me live?
All right. So, yeah, hopefully, you don't get this passionate every time I do this because, I'm trying to help people out and break it down to them step by step. I hope this is a resource that you could use because I'm doing this research for you guys. So just stay tuned and, I'll keep developing more and more for you guys to help you out because, clearly it's a struggle for a lot of people, I guess the main excuse I'm hearing or seeing is that people don't have time to make their food. And I'm as busy as anyone. I'm doing this. I train people. I train myself to fight, and I have a full-time job. But I still prepare my food. The majority of the food I eat for the day is prepared from home.
Oh, you got spinach in the fridge too.
And I also left spinach here at my sister's crib. Yeah,
and turkey burgers.
2 whole. I remember. I'm definitely gonna get that shit in the morning.
If you don't, I was gonna eat them tomorrow.
You're not gonna eat any of my food, y'all.
All right. Oh, cool.
You're not.
Well, thanks again, guys. Thanks for rocking with us. We're going strong. Stay tuned in. We got more surprises coming. We're going to continue the relationship segment. I think we're going to make that maybe a little mini series.
Yeah.
We have some guests that are going to be on the next podcast that we're recording, and we're going to be on Facebook Live also. So, again, stay tuned. We got plenty of fun, interesting things that are coming down the pipe. And, again, we thank you and appreciate you.
Thank you so much for listening, and we out.
We out. Absolutely out.